परमेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. The Guru is the creator, the Guru is the sustainer, and the Guru is the destroyer. The Guru is also the absolute witness. To that Guru, my obeisance. Namaste. My name is Nibir, and you are watching The True Narrative. Welcome. Today I want to speak about Sanatan Dharma, or Hinduism as we call it in the present day. So Sanatan means eternal, and Dharma means the duty or the nature of a human being. So why is it eternal? It is eternal because time is cyclical and there is no beginning and there is no end. So if you take a circle, at any point you cannot find where it started and where it ended. So this is precisely how our universe works. So there is this just cycles, and within cycles there are smaller cycles and there's a bigger cycle. So that's why it's eternal and it goes on infinitely. Of course, in between there are periods of destruction and creation, which is the destructive period is known as pralaya, and after the pralaya, when everything is destroyed either by fire or by water, there is a new cycle of creation, which is known as a new kalpa or an eon. The present kalpa that we are in is called the Vaivashwat Manvantara. So the Manvantara is smaller than a kalpa. So the Manu, or the creator of mankind, the Rishi who created the first humans, actually they themselves, Manu and Satarupa, his wife, they were the first spirits to take human form. So we all of mankind is actually the children of Manu and Satarupa. Before that there was no form in the physical. So they started the physical form of what we know as a human being. So that's why it's called the Manvantara. And the present Manu his name is Vaivashwat. And Dharma is the innate property, quality of an object. For example, what is the Dharma of water? The Dharma is water is to flow, and also flow downwards or downhill. Water cannot flow uphill. So the Dharma of water is to flow downhill. The Dharma of water is also to rejuvenate. The Dharma of water is to give prana to the beings that absorb water, take water, drink water. So this is, and the Dharma of water is fluid. And the Dharma of water is also to maintain level. So any container you put Dharma water in, like if you put water in a jar, then it will take the shape of the jar, but the top of water will be flat. Similarly, you put water in a earthen pot, a kumbha, again the water will take the form of the pot, but the top will remain level. take a lake, it will take the shape of a lake, but the top will remain level. So these are the qualities or properties of water. Now if water doesn't behave like this, then we will not call it water. So this is the essence of dharma. So similarly, when water becomes ice, it is not water. It is water, the essence of water is there, but it has turned into ice. So what is the dharma of ice? Ice has different dharma altogether. So it is very cold to the touch. Then it's solid, but not totally solid at the same time. Then it's also its dharma is to try to become water when the temperature is lower, higher. So only at a temperature of 0 degrees or below, ice can remain ice. So these are the qualities of ice, which is separate from water. So this is dharma. What is the innate property of an object? So similarly, there are qualities or properties that a human should exhibit for him to be maintaining human dharma. For example, kindness, honesty, truthfulness, and other qualities, the qualities that define, we all know them, intuitive. So these qualities that we expect from another person, these are innate qualities of a human being. So as long as a human being is showing these qualities, he is maintaining his dharma. And if he is not, then he is not doing his dharma, which means that he is not really being human, which is not very easy to do unless it's distorted. A human being is distorted via unnatural thoughts and philosophies in the name of religion, or unless a human being is influenced by cults or man-made philosophies. Innate character of a human being will be to show the qualities of a human being. So even sincerity is a quality of the human being. Modesty, down to earth, being down to earth, being forgiving, being compassionate, being creative. So all of these characteristics, being brave. So this is what dharma is. So Sanatan Dharma is nothing but it's scientific and it's the true natural qualities of an object, whether it be human or the 5 elements or the objects that we see around us in the world. Each object has its own specific dharma. Even the birds and animals, they have their own dharma. For example, a dog's dharma is always its loyalty. As you can see, a dog is very loyal to its owner. And the other dharma of a dog is its behavior as a watchman or a security guard. So wherever you keep a dog, you will find dog will always be attentive towards the gate or the front door of a house. So one portion of his attention, whether he's eating, sleeping, playing, will always be at the gate. So he is continuously aware of protecting the house or the living area. So this is the dharma of a dog. But the dharma of a neem tree is to be bitter neem is a good medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, and then good for skin diseases, stomach disorders, mental disorders. But its innate property is that it's very bitter. Similarly, the dharma of a mango tree is to give mangoes, which also is a very good Ayurvedic medicine. A mango heals the heart chakra, and the mango gives enormous energy for us to work or play. And the essence of a mango fruit is to be sweet. So this is the dharma of mango fruit. So this is Sanatan Dharma. Then I want to come across the term Hinduism. Now most people believe that the term Hindu came from the Arabs calling this the Sindhu river, which in English becomes the Indus River, and the Arabs used to call it Sindhustan. So the place across the river Indus. And later on, the British put the word Hindu. But according to me, the actual term is Bindu, or Binduism, because everything comes from this point or Bindu, which is situated at the top of our head, where the Brahmins put their generally the Brahmin students, they put their what do you call the ponytail? Yes. So from this Bindu we originated. So we are worshippers of the Bindu, and I have personally interacted with tourists for a while that come to India, and they always ask this question: if I have the tilak on my forehead, then it's like, what is this? What is this? As if they don't know about it. I mean, in the present day world, it's laughable that somebody doesn't know about the tilak or the bindu. But anyway, so when the colonizers like Vasco da Gama first came to India and landed in Cochin, so the Europeans probably asked the locals about the tilak. So the local used to go like, this is a bindu. Whether the question is what are, or even the question, what are you? And the local used to go bindu. Or if it's a woman, she used to go bindi. Okay. So they picked up this term, bindu or bindi, and started calling this bindu. And as is the behavior of the British or the colonizers, or at that time, they distort. Either because they don't hear it clearly, or they want to modify it according to their linguistic patterns. So they probably replaced the B with the H, and then it became Hindu. So in that sense, it's a misnomer. And I personally feel that the term Binduism is more representative of Sanatan Dharma than the word Hinduism. Although the word Hinduism also comes from the hinkar, or the way a cow moves, the sound of a cow in Sanskrit is called hunkar. No, hinkar. So it is from that the word Hinduism comes. So which is also relatively good. But personally, I prefer the term Binduism, if not Sanatan Dharma. And actually, I do believe that we should all go back to calling it Sanatan Dharma, which is the birthright of all human beings. Because we share a common heritage, both as spirit and also in the form of our ancestors, which are Manu and Satarupa, rishis. Then The timeline of Hinduism is also something that people are confused about or not clear about. So Hinduism in the present Kalpa is far more than 5,000-6,000 years, which the Abrahamic religions claim. For example, we are right now in the year 5018 of Kali Yuga. And Kali Yuga, or the Dark Age, started after Krishna left his body. So the Mahabharata war and Krishna's lifetime was around 5,000 years ago. So that was just Krishna. And if we go to Rama, then Rama was born at the junction of Treta Yuga and Dwapara Yuga, which is the second and the third age. So this interval occurred around 864,000 years. So the episode of Ramayana and Rama's birth is 8,50,000 years ago approximately. So we are talking time span which modern humans have no idea, because these are covered up to bring about whatever agenda that is there in the controllers. So, agenda of the controllers. So the truth is that Ram was 8,850,000 years ago. Krishna was 5,000 years ago. So you can make out like how vast the duration of Hinduism is. And at one point of time, Hinduism was spread out across earth. Because the religion, it's spiritual in its essence. Though anybody who in a state of samadhi, and anybody who's doing samyama, which is concentration upon specific. So suppose somebody is doing samyama upon the Vedas, then that person can so-called download the Vedas into himself. In the state of samadhi, he can hear the creator Brahma reciting the Vedas via his mouth, and he can directly hear the Vedas and then write down the Vedas. Or if his Agya Chakra or third eye is open, he can actually see Brahma and hear him recite the Vedas. So in this way, the shamans and other mystics across the world used to download the Vedas and then spread the Vedas across to their disciples. And this brings me to another point. The word shaman itself, this comes actually from the word sharma. So sharma, somehow, as we know, it's like linguistic distortion. So sharma at some point of time in another region became sharman, and sharman became shaman. So the Brahmins of India, or the Sharmas, they were the original shamans of Hinduism, or other parts of the world. So even the present day knowledge is that Aryabhat or Bharatvarsha, this used to stretch from what is present day Iran all the way down to Indonesia. So there was a vast territory of the followers of Sanatan Dharma. And this Dharma is not exclusive to the people of India, especially present day India. It is the religion and a birthright of all human beings, of all people, on earth, and the Vedic name for earth in fact is Jambudvipa. So it is, Sanatan Dharma is for all the children of Jambudvipa. And although it's the Kali Yuga, there is a cycle within Kali Yuga itself which brings about. So I come from the tradition or the lineage of Narada, which is bringing about 10,000 years of golden age upon earth. So golden age as in Satya Yuga. So the end of Kali Yuga is approaching, and Satya Yuga or the golden age is going to start very soon. So with this positive message, I leave you all today, and I will speak further on the topic of Sanatan Dharma or Hinduism in the future. I do hope that you subscribe to the channel Nibir, and so that you can keep getting true knowledge and true narrative of who we are, where we come from, and where we are going, and other issues that are very pertinent to our present times. And also share it with your friends, family, relatives, and people that you know, so that we can spread the true narrative worldwide. Thank you, and wish you a very wonderful day.